Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 5 most important functions that you need to know if you want to use Excel for data analysis in 2025. But before we dive right into it, do not forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest of data analytics across different technologies. So let's take a look at this data. This is the sales data for a product and across different categories, that is electronics, furniture and different categories across different regions. It shows the sales data, the quantity sold, the discount and the profit. Let's say I want to do some data analysis on this data. Say I want to find out the unit price, I want to find out the average unit price. So let's insert a column. I'm going to say unit price and I'm going to analyze this. So I'm going to say simple sales divided by the quantity and let me drag this down. Now I want to calculate the average unit price, but you can see there's a problem. There's a error in this value, and most of our real world data in Excel is filled with errors, missing values or some calculation problems. So how do we get around it? So I want to calculate the average. If I do the average here and if I calculate this, you can see this will give me an error. So how can I work around this? How can I work around these erroneous values and yet calculate and do some analysis and fill in the missing values? Let's take a look at this. I'll use the aggregate function. Hit aggregate. I'm going to select average, so I'll put 1. I'm going to select ignore error values. I'm going to hit 6, and then let me select this entire range and let me fix this so I can drag this down. So let me hit F4 and let's close this bracket now, and here this gives you your average. Let me copy this down so I can do some more calculations. So I'll just change this now. I will say I want to calculate the median value to analyze further. So I calculate the median value. So the median value is 160. It's quite far from the mean. And let's see the standard deviation to understand how much the data varies. So we can see the standard deviation is 267. So on an average, the data points vary from the mean by 267, which is quite high if you see that. So the median looks like a better approximation because you can see that the mean is quite high. This may be subject to outliers. And if you can see, actually the median gives a good value because the sales is 350. And so one product would ideally be probably around 160. So if we use the median, so let me use the median. I'll do Control C and let us paste the value. And now we are able to calculate our average, and we also have our missing values filled. So with one function we can calculate multiple statistical analysis of the data, and also we can use it to fill in the missing values. Let's take a look at my next favorite function. Now this function is used to query the data. Think of this as your table if you are familiar with SQL Server or any other database, and I want to query particular values to do some analysis. Say I want to find out what are the sales value for the laptop from the electronics category. Okay, if I want to find the particular sales value, so I can, let us do this. Let us do the category. Let us do the product. Let us write the value which I want to get, that is sales. Okay, and let us write the electronics, what I want to search for, and laptop. Okay, and let us do use the DGet function. It's a very useful function. And so this is the entire database, and the field that I want to return the sales, and the criteria is the category and the product with the values. So I select the range, hit enter, and here you can see it gives me. I can also change this, it becomes dynamic now. I can say I want electronics category and the phone product. Sorry, let me enter this here, electronics category and the phone product. It gives me, I can also select the furniture category and say chair, and I can do my analysis on that. Chair and chair, and you can see this value is completely dynamic. Now the next most important function we must know if you want to use a data analysis using Excel in 2025 is the filter function, the most versatile function. Say I want to do analysis on a subset of data, which we often use. Say I want to analyze the data for the each region only. So I can use this using the filter function. I'll say filter, and let me select the entire array, and I'm going to include this for the entire region. So let me select this category, and sorry, I'll do by region, and equal to, and let us say east, and let's keep this in a bracket and close the function. Hit enter, and now you can see this has filtered the data only for the east region. Now I can make this even more complex. Say I want to filter across the region and across a different category. So I want to say only the electronics products from the east region. So how to do that? Just add a multiplication sign here, asterisk, and now I'm going to select the next criteria. So I want to do only for the electronics category. I'll say this category, and I'm going to say equal to electronics. And let me close this and hit enter, and you can see it has filtered for the electronics. You can see this is completely dynamic. I can just change this to west, and I can do the analysis for the west region for the electronics category. You see, this is completely dynamic, and I can use this to analyze the subset of my data. The next most important function is the GroupBy. If I want to aggregate my data and I want to do some statistical analysis on this, a very important function is the GroupBy. Say I want to analyze the sales data across a particular region. So I'm going to select this region. Let me select the region. Let me select the values which I want to aggregate into the sales value. Let me select the function I want to do. I'm going to do the average function here. I want to find the average sales across different region. Headers, I'm going to say yes, let us see the headers. So I'm going to select 3. Then totals, I want no totals, and then I'm going to select the sort order -1 is descending, and hit enter. Now you can see it has shown me the sales breakdown across different region from the lowest to the highest. Very, very useful. So I want to analyze this across multiple categories. Say I want to analyze for the region and for the electronics, right? So let me do that. So I can just update this query. So I can say, I can do this, and let me select let me highlight this and override this. I'll say region and the category, and hit enter. And now you can see for the region and the category, it has done the group by and aggregated the data. Now I want to, the next most important function is, the fourth most important function is, I want to use a pivot table. Ideally, I would do this using the pivot table functionality in Excel, but the pivot by function is more dynamic and is more flexible. So I'm going to use this, okay, and without needing to know the pivot tables, I can directly do this. So I want to do the pivot table analysis for the region, okay. I'll select that. The columns, I'm going to select the product, or let us do by category. I'm going to select the values, that is the sales. Now select the function, that is sum. Then I'm going to say yes and show me the headers. So I'm going to select 3 and no totals, 0. And then I'm going to select I'll ignore the sort order, I'll just close this and hit enter. And now you can see this is a nice pivot table, the category, the region, and you can see the total sales for the east region and the electronics category, east region and the furniture, and the south region and the furniture, and so on and so forth. This gives you a nice pivot table, so I can do my analysis here. Now I can also use a very useful function called the transpose function, especially if I want to alternate the rows and the column. This is very useful when I'm doing time series analysis, because when I using time data, you like to have the time data in the columns. Say your sales across the years of, if I have the year 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, and so on and so forth, is good for using time series analysis to have the data in the column fashion. So let's see how I can transpose or change the order of the rows and columns. So let's see this. I'll use in the same function. Let me select here, and I'll just call the transpose function. This is the fifth and the most, and another important function we need to use, especially for time series analysis. Hit transpose, and let me close this. And now let's take a look and see. You can see the rows have become the columns have become the rows, right? The category is here now, and the region is on top, right? So these are the 5 most important functions you must be knowing in Excel for doing all your data analysis in 2025. I hope you like this video, and if you did like this video, leave a like and a comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest of data analytics across different technologies. Thank you.